Hello everyone, welcome to CommerceNet Scholars. I hope you all are perfectly fit and fine and you are being regular with the studies. Today's video is entirely devoted to regional rural banks. We'll understand how were the regional rural banks set up, what was the reason for their establishment, what are the basic objectives they had while their establishment, and what are the functions they perform as banks in our country. So let's start with today's video and understand first about the establishment of the regional rural banks. Talking about their establishment, regional rural banks were set up in September 1975. One thing to remember here is that although they were set up in 1975, but actually they started their operations from 2nd October 1975. So the actual working started from 2nd of October 1975. Now, why were they set up? In order to develop the rural economy by providing banking services in such areas by combining the cooperative speciality of local orientation and the sound resource base, which is the characteristics of commercial banks. Now, these regional rural banks had an exclusive function of developing the rural economy, providing financial assistance for the rural and agricultural development. Basically, regional rural banks were established in local and regional areas only, in rural areas only, so that it becomes easy for people to approach the banks and avail for financial assistance. Talking about the establishment of regional rural banks, one thing you need to remember again, that the 5 regional rural banks set up initially on 2nd October 1975, the places where they were set up were Gorakhpur, Jaipur, Moradabad, Malda and Bhiwani. These banks, the credit of establishment of these banks goes entirely to Mrs. Indira Gandhi, on whose recommendations these banks were set up. So what are the important things you need to remember? They were set up on October 1975. They basically started their operations on 2nd October 1975, and the 5 first branches of RRBs were Gorakhpur, Jaipur, Moradabad, Malda and Bhiwani, and the credit for their establishment goes to Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Now, second point says RRBs have a unique structure in the sense that their equity holding is jointly held by the central government, the concerned state government and the sponsored bank in the ratio 50:15:35. Now, this particular ratio, that is 50:15:35, this needs to be remembered really clearly and specifically as per the contribution received. 50% of the contribution in the equity holding is with the central government, 15% is with the state government and 35% lies with the sponsored banks, which is responsible for assisting the RRB by providing financial, managerial and training aid and also subscribing to its share capital. Now, the ratio, that is 50:15:35, in this ratio RBI is going to get assistance from the central government, state government and the sponsored bank, as well as its equity lies in this ratio as well. Whatever financial help RRBs need, managerial help, training facilities for their employees they need, or the share capital, whatever need, whatever financial assistance, whatever help RRBs need, it will be provided by the central government, state government and the sponsored bank in this particular ratio. Talking about the objectives of RRBs. RRBs were established with the following objectives. The first one goes bridging the credit gap in rural areas. But obviously, we all are very well aware that the rural areas lack to have banking facilities. It's not available to them so easily. Nowadays, obviously, due to the launch of the scheme of financial inclusion, banks have reached the rural areas. But earlier, talking about the time then, that is in 1975, it was not easily available for the people residing in the rural areas. So the basic objective of the RRBs was to bridge the credit gap in rural areas. That is, provide financial assistance in the form of loans and advances to the rural people as well, so that they can have a better economy for themselves. Next, check the outflow of rural deposits to urban areas. Now, what was the outflow of the rural deposits that was proceeding towards the urban areas? That was to be checked out. That if people in the rural areas are making some deposits, then how are urban area people able to get benefits from it by availing the loans and advances from those funds? Next, reduce regional imbalances and increase rural employment. Obviously, when the banks were set up in the rural areas, the local youth or the local workforce from there could be given employment opportunities if they fulfill the eligibility criteria concerning the RRBs. Next, provide credit and other facilities especially to the small and marginal farmers, agricultural laborers and artisans, etc. So credit facilities were provided to the small and marginal farmers. Basically, whatever financial assistance was provided by RRBs, it was provided for the local or regional businesses that were established. The agriculture sector, which is obviously very important when we are talking about the rural or backward areas, or any other form of employment that was generated at the local, regional or rural level. Now, proceeding to the last topic of today, that is the functions of RRBs. The first function is RRBs grant loans and advances to small farmers and agricultural laborers so that they can start their own farming activities, including purchase of land, seeds and manure. We are very well aware that the employment opportunities in the rural areas is quite low in comparison to that of urban areas. So RRBs has this basic function of providing financial assistance to the people who want to live in their own village or live in their own area and adopt for the agricultural practices. So RRBs provides financial assistance to enhance their agricultural practices. Even for the purchase of land, RRB is going to provide financial assistance. Next, RRBs provide banking services at the doorsteps of the rural people, particularly in those areas which are not served by any commercial bank. In case any commercial bank is not there in any of the areas of the rural sector, RRBs provide the banking services at their doorsteps. Next, the RRBs charge a lower rate of interest and thus they reduce the cost of credit in the rural areas. Whatever financial assistance RRBs are providing in the rural areas, they are providing it at a lower cost, and hence the people at the rural areas are able to get benefited from it. Next, we have RRBs provide loan and other financial assistance to entrepreneurs in villages, suburban areas and small towns so that they become able to enlarge their business. Now, the people who are establishing their business units in the local, regional or rural levels, RRB is going to provide financial assistance to them as well. So RRBs are not only providing financial assistance for the agricultural purpose but also for the purpose of fulfilling the needs of the entrepreneurship or the businesses. Loans to artisans to encourage them for the production of artistic and related goods. Whatever handicrafts businesses there, whatever artisans are there, RRBs are going to provide financial assistance to them as well. And the last is encourage the saving habit among the rural and semi-urban population. Obviously, when a bank has been established, it will not only provide you the credit facility but also will provide you the facility of the deposits. So now when people are depositing their excess money in the bank and they are earning a better rate of interest on the money that would have laid down idle in the either case, so now the habit of saving among the people is increasing more. So these are the basic functions that RRBs are performing. I hope whatever we have discussed in today's video is clear to you all. Any doubt you can mention down in the comment section below. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.